This. So, Daredevil Born Again performed worse than the Acolyte.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it is true. On a view basis, yeah, it performed worse than the Acolyte. Didn't do very well at all. So basically, the long shot of it is that the Acolyte hit 11.1 million views in its first 5 days, right?
Mhm.
That's the Acolyte. And now Daredevil Born Again, same website, Variety, are now reporting that Daredevil Born Again did 7.5 million views in 5 days. So that's pretty bad. And that is it. I mean, there's nothing else here to really discuss. That is the news. 11.1 million views for the Acolyte, 7.5 for Daredevil Born Again. I can't find a budget for Daredevil Born Again anywhere. But it must be pretty high. And the reason why I say it must be pretty high, right, is they basically reshot the whole bloody thing.
Well, they'd only really gone through full production on 4 episodes total. But
Say
yeah,
that again.
they only really went through full production on 4 episodes before they began reshooting. They rescripted and reshot after that.
Yeah.
I thought I had like $120 million budget, but there's nothing official out there.
Not that I can see. Not that I can see. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at like, so I don't know. Let's look at Loki. Jesus, the second season of Loki was $167.1 million. I mean, that's cheap for a Marvel series, by comparison to other stuff.
Well,
so I mean, this has got to be has got to be at least $100 million. Let's just say that it's got to at least be $100 million, right? I don't think that's a stretch to say. What do you think?
I think it was really expensive. I think they used a lot of CGI.
Oh, they did actually. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, and I think that the budget for the first season, the first official season of the Netflix series, was around $42 to $50 million that they spent on that first Netflix season. So I think that this is going to be well beyond that. But there isn't a number. I've been looking for it. I even went to some of the production sites. I can't find it. So it's quite possible that they spent a lot. They could have spent 150 million or more. Hard to say, but they have a ton of CGI in 9 episodes. So I think it's going to be not cheap. I mean, let me give you a comparison. Andor, which uses a lot of CGI, was 465 million for 2 seasons.
Good God, man.
Yeah, but that is good. That is a good show, right? I won't have anyone bad mouth.
The official number for that is a little bit lower than that. So we'll use that lower number. So it basically one season of that, if you cut it in half, is about 322 million. Jesus. So yeah, it's really weird. But I don't think they spent that much. I think I would be looking at like $150 million budget for 9 episodes. Consider this. I mean, Acolyte cost over 200 million.
230 million dollars.
Yeah. So
dumb.
I mean, so it's just extraordinarily odd. Very, very odd. I'm going to say it this way: they spent too much money on the show. But I'm glad that they did because they went back and corrected 4 episodes worth of things that nobody would have liked for 9 episodes of things people could like. And maybe that's a good thing. They brought back some characters. They gave people a little bit of latitude on what they could do with those characters. And it sounds like they really did make an effort, but I've only watched the first part of the first episode, and I was like, this is a lot of CGI, and there's a lot of effects tied to this thing. So I don't know, dude. What I mean, did you watch any of it?
What? Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I reviewed it. Didn't hate it.
Yeah, but it's not like the first the Netflix version. It's not close enough.
Well, I mean, it's a bit like it, but it's not. It's like it's a bit of a facsimile of it, really. It's the best thing Marvel have done for a while. There's a little dog there. There she is. She was at my feet as she's on the chair. Bless her.
Gotta love dogs. Must love dogs.
But the problem with it is that it there's lots of stuff that you're watching. You're like, yeah, they could really screw this up now, because they're just introducing lots of things that you're like, yeah, this could be pretty bad. This could be pretty bad. Where are they going to go with this? And it also fundamentally they didn't actually change the story. So I remember ages ago there was leaks of, spoiler alert, Foggy Nelson dying and him giving up being Daredevil. It's like that's the same. That's what we're watching right now. That's still the same thing. Like he's given up being Daredevil, and Foggy died. So what's changed? Like I'm confused. The fundamental story is still the same by the looks of it, unless they're going to ramp up that arc and then he becomes Daredevil again very, very soon. I don't know. So it doesn't look like they changed anything. I don't know. I don't get it. Bit of a weird one. But anyway, the point is, it's whether Disney considers this a bomb or not, because it did less than the Acolyte, it's not really the main point of what we're talking about here. I think the main point of what we're talking about is like, why are less people watching this than they did the Acolyte? The Acolyte.
I can tell you why.
Go on then.
Because the Acolyte had so much controversy surrounding it. It wasn't happening. It wasn't a real show. Then it actually was a real show, and it actually was coming out. The whole thing surrounding Harvey Weinstein's ex-personal assistant being the showrunner for this thing. There was so much negative publicity for this thing that everybody wanted to see this shit show. And if you watch the numbers from the very beginning of the Acolyte to the very end, it was a constant downtrend. Because people start off to watch the train wreck and they're like, oh, this is so I just can't anymore. And other people, of course, like Coach and myself and a few others, watched it to the very end. But I think that's why. The Daredevil thing, I think a lot of the Marvel people have checked out, and Disney Plus doesn't have near the subscriber base that Netflix had when Daredevil was on Netflix.
That's true.
And people are sick of what they're doing with Marvel. So I think a lot of people are just like I haven't seen the first 2 episodes yet because they've only released 2, right? Third one comes out this week.
I think
so
tomorrow.
I am going to check it out because I did like the Netflix show, and I've heard mixed things on it. Like I've heard people say this is complete trash, and I've heard other people say it's actually not that bad of a show, and I've heard other people that said it's actually really good. And these are all coming from people that hate Disney and hate everything that Disney's been doing. So I've been hearing mixed things on it. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so I have no opinion on the show yet since I haven't seen it. But I think that's probably a big part of why the Acolyte did much more viewership than Daredevil. Is the hate watch?
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That is absolutely fair enough. I do wonder if. I don't know. I do wonder if it's just like it's that sign of apathy, isn't it? This is just a visual sign of apathy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, people sort of checking out in general as well. So,
And people are
yeah,
checking out on Disney just as a company as a
just in
whole.
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in general. Yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Well, there you go. Anyway, we will move on from this now